What's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It's currently 9:19 a.m. Thursday morning, May the 7th, 2026, year of our Lord. Oh man, it is a beautiful day outside. Beautiful day. It is raining cats and dogs, and it has been raining all night, and I love it, man. I do. I hate the fact that I can't get out and work right now, but I love all this rain we're getting. Golly, man. We had 5 days straight of rain last week. We were in desperate need of it. We got enough to hold us over, but we didn't get enough to completely say we're completely out of a drought. It was enough that I turned my sprinkler system off. My house is on top of a hill, and I turned my sprinkler system off because of the amount of rain we got. And when it quit raining Saturday, we never got another drop of rain until last night, and it was hot, it was dry, very windy, so all the moisture was sucked out of the ground by, of course, the wind and the heat with evaporation happening. And my lawn, it started drying out again. My lawn was solid green. Now it's not solid green, and well, it's solid green now. It's solid green now, believe it or not. And the problem is, man, the water table was just so low. Golly, the water table was low, and and I've got buddies that had to postpone a lot of sod because you just can't trust the customers to run the sprinkler systems like they're supposed to. You can set it up for them to 2 times a day, but it ain't nothing for a customer to go out in the garage and just simply turn that thing to off because they feel like they're using too much water. Customer trying to save themselves some money, and then next thing you know, the landscaper is dealing with a headache trying to explain to the customer, look, I'm not warranting this sod because you turned the water off. So to avoid that, it's happened to all of my friends. They've all went through that. I haven't gone through that yet. I just recently started putting in sod myself and haven't dealt with that yet, so that's a good thing. But every one of my buddies that install sod for a living, they have been through it, so they just all decided that if we're in drought situations, I'm not installing sod because I don't want to go through that mess. There's other things we can do, you know what I mean? So a lot of them have postponed a lot of sod, and they're ecstatic because they can finally start laying sod again. I'm ecstatic because I had a full week of mowing this week. It's really the first time this year that I've started making real money every day. During the drought, man, probably half of my customers were postponing at least once a month. And the people that were letting me come out, they were just allowing me to come out, man, because the grass wasn't growing. And so we finally got some rain. The grass took off like a bat out of hell. I was excited about it, and then it dried out again. But hey, as soon as it was completely dried out, it started raining again. So yeah, you got to go through fires, man. You got to go through fires in business. There's no doubt in that. But also, man, that's why it's so important to have other things you can do. You can do sod. You can do sod in the rain. You can do pine straw in the rain. It's aggravating as hell to put pine straw down in the rain, but you can do it. It's aggravating to trim bushes in the rain, but you can do it. I will not trim bushes in the rain because it's just so aggravating. And you can do mulch, rocks, all that. You can do just about anything in the rain except for like a leaf cleanup or mow grass. I mean, you can do all of that in the rain, but it's a pain, and you got to move extremely slow to keep from tearing up people's yard. But yeah, man, you can do everything in the rain. You just got to keep it pushing, man. You're gonna have times in business to where it's just gonna be excruciating, aggravating, agonizing, all that good stuff. That's just the way it is, man. I have learned that in my 5 or 6 years. I'm pretty sure it's 5 years. I think I started in 2021. I don't remember, but either way, it was either December of 2020 or December of 2021. I can't remember. But anyway, man, in my short period of time of being a landscaper, I have learned, man, you're going to go through some fires and you're going to have trials and tribulations, man. You just got to persevere. You have to. And if you want to survive. But especially if you're full-time, like most of us are, man, you got to find ways to generate revenue, even in the slow times. But And also, man, you've got to have cash flow, which brings me to my next point. I talk about cash flow a lot, man, because it's extremely important. Cash flow is very important. I learned that when I had customers that were monthly payers, paying the same amount every month. You know, probably 75% of my customers were on that system at one point in time. And I have since lost all but about 15 of them. And which, good riddance, because they were pain customers. They really were. They were pains. Golly, they were pains. A thorn in the side. And some of them actually ripped me off. But, you know, you just got to, at some point in time, you got to cut your losses. But I'm getting sidetracked here. But anyways, cash flow, man. You've got to get out and generate cash flow, whether it's $50 or $1,050. You've got to get out and generate cash flow. You got to try to make that happen at least 5 days a week, at least. Like I said, it don't have to be a full day's worth of mowing, but it's very important to have cash flow every single day, at least 5 days a week. There's going to be times where you can't do it, but you can make that up on Saturdays. And sometimes you may have to get out there on Sundays. I don't recommend working on Sundays. I try as hard as I can not to work on Sundays. But the reality is, man, in business, sometimes you have no choice. You really don't. And does it make for a dog-tired week coming up? It absolutely does. Unless you're like Ray, works 7 hours a day. Nothing against Ray. That's actually a really good idea what he's doing. That way you're not tiring yourself out and killing yourself, but you're creating revenue every day. And also 7 hours, man, he's killing it in 7 hours. He really is. But shout out to you, Ray, if you see this video. But cash flow is extremely important. You've got to have materials. You got to have fuel. And you got to be able to pay your. I mean, there's so many reasons that cash flow is important, and I talk about it a lot. And I think a lot of people are starting to understand the importance of cash flow, especially in the Southeast. Not everybody is being affected. You know, everybody's being affected, but some people are being affected more than others in the Southeast due to the drought that we had. And Russell Parr up in Atlanta, Gwinnett Lawns, he's got a good channel, man. He puts out a lot of informative stuff. And I don't agree with everything he says, but I agree with most of what he says. And a lot of the stuff I don't agree with is just because it's stuff that's going to work in his area and not mine. Now, there's probably a lot of stuff that I do that he wouldn't agree with, and that's just the way it is, man. You're not always going to agree with everything you see on YouTube, just because the simple fact that every area is different. And as close as Atlanta is to Augusta, it's still different, man. It's still different. The land is different. Some of the turf type is different. All that stuff, man. Just like Buster Davis down in Middle Georgia, we're all pretty close together, but at the same time, we're so far apart, man. People are different. Areas are different, and businesses are different. So what works for me is not going to work for you every single time, and vice versa. But you can get a lot of information from some of these channels, especially channels that are in your state. But I noticed, I actually came across this video this morning. I don't know when Russell put this out, but he was talking about cash flow. And I thought it was funny because a lot of people are starting to realize how important cash flow really is. And having money coming in every day. And it's normally times like this when you're in a drought or you just so much rain you can't do anything. That's when you start realizing how important it is to make money every single day. You know, most of us already have it ingrained in our mind that you got to make money while you can. Make as much as you can while you can. Because you're not always going to be able to do that. So you got to have money. But it's times like these, the hard times, the trying times, that's when you realize how important that is. And but Russell, he put out a video, and I watched it this morning. The title of the video is why it's so important to have cash flow in business. And he never really did touch on the reason that it was important. He was kind of he's kind of like me, all over the place. I'm all over the place all the time. And there's a lot of times I don't touch on the title of my video. But he never really did touch on the reason cash flow is important. He put out a lot of good points and a lot of ways to have cash flow. but he just never did quite he never did bring it home, you know what I mean? And nothing against you, Russell, if you see this video. Got a lot of respect for you and your business and your channel. I think you're doing good stuff, man. You're doing the Lord's work, dog. You're doing the Lord's work. But anyway, man, I'm gonna tell you why I feel like it's so important to have cash flow. Think about this, guys. Everybody goes to work every day with one very important thing in mind. You've got to take care of your family. You've got to take care of yourself. And it takes money to do that. Money makes the world go round. There is a difference. The Bible talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. That is very true. But I'm not telling you to go out there and fall in love with money. That's not what I'm telling you at all. But you need to realize that you have to work. You have to generate money to be able to do the things that you have to do to survive, to take care of your family, to pay your bills, to be able to eat, all of that good stuff. You've got to work. You got to create cash flow. Okay? Now, let's just say you're a solo operator like me. Hypothetically speaking, you're bringing in $4,000 to $5,000 a week. Okay? Let's just say you're taking a third of that or half of that every week and putting it up in savings for the winter time. Okay? Let's say, again, hypothetically speaking, at the end of the summer, you've got 50 or 60,000 put up for the winter time to get you through, in my area, those 3 main months of winter: December, January, and February, when you're not really working. You're at home more than you are at work. At least I am anyway, because I'm not at a point in my business where I have all the equipment that is required to go out, and I'm not like Chad and Ray and all these guys that can go out and do mulching jobs, brush cutting jobs. I don't have all that equipment. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet. And that's why it's very important to save your money. You've got to save your money, because sooner or later, they're going to turn the lights off on you, man. The Lord is going to turn the lights off. Things are going to go cold. The grass is going to go dormant, and it's going to go dormant for a minimum of 3 months: December, January, February. True enough, there are many things that you can do out there. You can do irrigation repair. You can do pre-emergent applications. You can do winter weed applications. I don't know what the terms are for the weed and fertilizer stuff, because I don't do it. But you get what I'm saying on that. You can do pine straw, mulch, rock install, bush trimming for the year, your hard pruning, tree pruning, cleanups. You can do junk removal. Ernest Perez brought this up in a video the other day, ways to make money. You can do window cleaning. There's a lot of things you can do to make money. But even though you're doing those other things, your main source of revenue is going to be lawn care, mowing, lawn maintenance. That's going to be your main source of revenue. That's going to be your recurring revenue. That's what's going to pay the bills. Simple as that. There's no way around it. If you're a lawn care provider and you do landscaping, you're making your money on mowing. Now, go back to the hypotheticals. Let's say you've got $50,000 or $60,000 saved up at the end of the summer. Next thing you know, 2 or 3 weeks goes by, you're in a drought. Again, hypothetically speaking, let's say all your customers call you and say, "Hey man, I've got to postpone, man. My lawn isn't growing, it's a drought." Or let's just say this happened to me last year. You have 4 weeks of rain. You cannot work those 4 weeks because everything is extremely saturated. There's nothing you can do. Nothing. You can't even hardly walk on the lawns because they're so saturated. 4 weeks, guys. You making $5,000 a week. That's $20,000. Guess what? You got $60,000 saved up. Now you got $40,000 saved up for the winter time. Let's say this happens to you. This happened to me earlier this year. You blow the rear seal in your truck. That's a very expensive fix. Sometimes it's not even worth it to get it fixed. Sometimes you're better off just buying a different truck. Now you've either created debt or you've went out and spent $10,000 or $15,000 on a used truck. Guess what? If you went and paid cash for a truck, that $40,000 turned into $30,000. Here's the thing, guys. You've got $30,000 now to last you through the winter. Wintertime rolls in. December's here. You've gotten some of that back. You've got $35,000 in savings to get you through the winter. Okay? You better pray nobody has birthdays in the wintertime in your family. You've got Christmas. You better pray your anniversary ain't in the wintertime. You've got bills. You got to eat. You got to put gas in your truck to go out and do landscaping stuff. You got to put gas in your equipment to go out and do landscaping stuff. You got to put diesel in certain equipment that you have to rent to go out and do landscaping stuff. You have to buy materials to do landscaping projects. You better pray you don't lose any money on any of those jobs. It's $35,000. Sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't. It really isn't. I found this out last year, guys. Yes, I'm speaking hypothetically. The numbers aren't accurate for what represents me, my business, and my family. They're not accurate at all. But the perfect storm happened last summer, and everything happened the way it did. I found out the hard way. I was extremely lucky. The Lord blessed me. I got through the winter by the skin of my teeth. By the skin of my teeth, with a little bit left over. A few $1,000s left over to get me through the winter. Or after once the growing season started. Guess what? Got hit right in the face with a drought. It be like that sometimes, man. You have off years and you have prosperous years, man. Ain't nothing you can do about it but take it on the chin and grin about it. That's all you can do. But that's why it is very important to have cash flow, guys. You've got to have money. You've got to generate revenue. You have to try as hard as you can to generate revenue every single day. Every single day. Like I said, it could be $50. It could be $1,050. But you gotta generate revenue. Got to. And it's on you. Nobody's coming to save you, man. Nobody's coming to save you. Donald Trump ain't coming to save you. Joe Biden ain't coming to save you. The Obamas, the Clintons, the Bushes, ain't none of them coming to save you. Benjamin Netanyahu over in Israel, he ain't coming to save you, man. The Lord will save you. But that don't mean you ain't gonna go through hard times. But look, man, get out there, make your money. Get out there and make as much money as you can while you can, because there's going to come a time where you can't make it. Simple as that. Right now is one of these times. It's looking like it's going to clear up around noon today. I'm hoping it clears up sooner than that. I've got the Turfmaster and the 36 on the trailer right now. I was going to take the 61 out, but I got to looking at the schedule. I don't have anything that I need the 61 for. I think I've got one property that I can get the 61 in, but it'd be just more feasible for me to put the 36 and the Turfmaster on the trailer. So that's what I'm rolling with, man. And also, man, I had to do some digging this morning. I had to find the side discharge chute deflector for my Turfmaster. I couldn't find it. You know, it's got a plate that goes on the side of it for if you're bagging or if you're mulching. But if you want a side discharge, you gotta pull that plate off and put the chute deflector on there. And I couldn't find a chute deflector. I started getting worried there for a second, man, because when it's like this, I ain't mulching nothing, man. I'm not mulching nothing when it's like this. I'm using that discharge chute. Either that or I'm gonna bag. And I try not to bag when it's like this, man, because it's disgusting and it's aggravating to deal with. But did that and made sure I had a landscape and debris bag in the truck, just in case I do have to bag some of them today. And I don't look to get everything done today, but I do look to get at least 3 of them done. And we'll see what happens. I probably won't make but about $200 or $300 today, but there again, man, it's revenue. It's something. It's something. I'm not going to be able to work tomorrow because my dog. I might be able to go out first thing in the morning. We'll see how that goes. But my daughter's graduating college at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And we got all kinds of stuff that's going on, man. We're meeting people here and there and everywhere else. We're going out to eat afterwards. And Saturday we're having a hoedown, a showdown, a shindig, a square dance party, whatever you want to call it, man. We having a graduation party Saturday for my oldest baby, and I couldn't be more happier for her, man. She's went through a lot with college, and she finally got through it, man. And super excited for her and see what the Lord has in store for her and her new career that she will be starting in August. But anyways, guys, get out there, do what you can to make some revenue. If you got to, work in between the raindrops. And I plan on getting out here after lunchtime today and seeing what I can get done. But in the meantime, I got to go to Harry's. I got to get a set of blades for the 36 because I bent a pair of blades last week. I know me and Buster had this conversation. I told him I don't be hitting nothing with my mowers. I hit a root last week and bent one of the blades up. And by the way, man, I'm not cheap, Buster. He told me yesterday I was cheap, man, because I use that old raggedy neon green string for my weed trimmers and string trimmers. I bought out of that stuff and I bought the good stuff, man. Bought the braided line, so we'll see what happens with that. See how I like that. That neon green square line or X line, whatever it's called, it's crap. It really is. But anyways, man, I got to go to Harry's, get a set of blades, and then I got to go to Tractor Supply, and I got to get another pair of boots, man. I tore my boots up Sunday. Somehow or another, the backside of my boot got caught on a rock, and it ripped the sole halfway off. And it's not the first time that's happened. I have ripped the sole off of those boots so many times, and I just use shoe goo, if you ever heard of it. You sell it at Walmart. Comes in like a toothpaste tube. But that stuff works wonders, and it lasts a long time. And it bonds for a lot longer than what people realize. But I glued them back together with shoe goo. This is probably the third time that I've ripped the sole off of my boot, and I've only had these boots for about 2 years, and they ain't worn out. It's just the sole came off, and I ain't cheap, though. I ain't cheap. But, yeah, I'm going to buy me a pair of boots, man. I done fixed them one too many times. But, look, man, y'all be blessed out there. Hope y'all are dry where y'all are at. Hope you're not in a drought, but I hope you're dry enough to get out and work. And if you need rain, man, I pray you get rain. Y'all stay warm, stay hydrated, stay cool, stay dry, all of that stuff and everything in between. Hope y'all are blessed. Till the next video, man, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. Holla at y'all. Bye.